Hey, welcome everybody. This is John Palmer, Dr. Doc Speed Selling. This is Raging Verbalist number 256 for all those who are keeping track of it. Glad that you're here again. Hopefully you're a long-time listener. If you're brand new, welcome. We show up every Friday on YouTube and also on our Facebook group, which is the Position to Win book Facebook group. So we talk about a variety of different topics, things that pop into my head, and we go through them. Don't veer off much into politics, but we cover a lot of different topics. And today is going to be a very good, exciting episode. With me, as always, is the person who will apply me and ask me the questions as if you were sitting here asking me these questions, the ever lovely Sandra. Sandra, welcome.
Hello, how are you doing? And happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Yes. Well, it snuck up on us. I mean, it's
It did.
weren't we just talking about Labor Day and then bang, we're here we are. So it's wild.
Exactly.
Oh,
I
by
can't
by
stand
the
it.
yeah, I mean, by the way, it's just astonishing how you walk in and they have, all these mishmash of, well, we're still in Thanksgiving, but we got, all the Christmas stuff, but, I mean, I'm sure Valentine's Day things are going to be rolling in soon.
Probably. Probably. All right. So to start it off, do you think this Thanksgiving is different than others?
Well, I think it feels different in a lot of ways because we have such a kind of a split going on in the country, and right now we're kind of in pretty uneven or uncertain times, and I think the election kind of surprised a lot of people. Again, we don't veer off a lot in politics, but how do you leave the elephant and donkey in the room kind of thing. So it feels a little different, and people I talk to are talking about it differently. And in fact, there's some, you know, consternation is the best way I could say it. A little bit of upsetness.
And it seems the election has created a rift for this Thanksgiving. So what's your opinion?
Well, I think that what happened is that the election turned out the way it did. Donald Trump won the Electoral College. He won the popular vote. There are websites that are sitting there telling people how to print out some talking points so they can go and do combat with their relatives and do all of that. And I will be the voice of reason. I mean, the raging verbalist and be the voice of reason. It doesn't make a lot of sense that we should have the politics destroy, a tradition and getting together. I mean, if you want to get together with like-minded people, that's fine. I mean, hey, Sandra and I met at, Freedom Fest, which is a bunch of crazy libertarians, and I say that with, of course, and by the way, it's a small C. Just like whenever you meet somebody in a libertarian event, people go, "Are you a big L or a little L?" And because the big L means that you've joined the Libertarian Party, and therefore you can piss off people on both sides. So anyway, I'm a small L libertarian, but it seems like people are just getting ready, and there's this riff, and I think it's really counterproductive. It's a waste of time.
And has there ever been a circumstance like this before?
Well, 2016 happened, and that was one. I'll just, because there's always the disclosure rules. So I had actually bet people that Donald Trump would win starting in 2015. That not only would he get the nomination, but he would win. And when he did, tell you, collecting from people, because about this time, 2016, I was still chasing people for money. And I think people were kind of in shock. They were surprised. They were like, "Well, this really can't be happening," and all of that. But I think this time is different in the sense that it is in your face, it is over the top, and circumstances have changed. So I think 2016 was that first shock. Hopefully, this time we'll get more done. And to me, that's what it's all about. How do we get things done in this world, and how do we take positive action?
And taking a positive turn, what can we do to make Thanksgiving a better holiday?
Well, I think instead of bringing a list of talking points to do battle and do combat and start yelling and you're right and you're wrong and I'm right and all of that, maybe it's a let's put together a list of things that we're not going to talk about. And sometimes it's better not to talk about it. I know that there are people who say, well, it's always better to talk about it. I have friends of all different persuasions and different ideas. And the point of it is that you shouldn't really lose friendships in life life is kind of short in that regard. And so therefore, park some of these things, put them in the parking lot. Say, well, we're not going to talk about these things. And by doing that, you take all the tension out of the room. And now we talk about the things that really matter, whatever they might be for you. Maybe it's, the fact that, how many games can the NFL jam into Thanksgiving weekend? They're going to have a Black Friday game that they're going to have, and they have, games on Thursday. Now, by the way, my mother was really not a football fan, so she would like go, oh, would you boys, get in here now. We're not waiting on a football game. And she never sounded like that. She was always very nice, but that kind of thing. So park this stuff on the edge and not think about it. Also, in your business, you may want to think long and hard about bringing politics into your business, because it may in fact create a rift with customers that you can't afford to lose. So now I can tell you something that will help you out on this holidays, which this is something you should always discuss, which is most businesses fail in the first 5 minutes. It just takes them 3 to 5 years to realize it. That is my book, written by myself and Gabe Batista, my co-conspirator, co-author, and business partner. Available physically at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, wherever books are sold, they can actually order this and get a physical copy. Or you can go to our website, which is position2winbook.com, position2winbook.com, and check it out. Also, you can ask me to inscribe it and autograph it and say something, as long as it's not too bad. I'll put it down there. You can also get it digitally on all platforms, Kindle, Nook, and Apple Books. So check that out, right? Because that nothing better to kind of bring things back. Maybe you bring the book and discuss it at the Thanksgiving table, shameless plug. Also, if you want to learn how to do what we do remotely, is go pick up Remote Work for a Better World. It is available exclusively on the Amazon Kindle. And while you're at it, go pick up a Raging Verbalist mug. Have a little bit of Raging Verbalist with you every day. Fill this up with your favorite coffee, tea, hot beverage, cocoa. You could probably even put some Mountain Dew if you want. I know Sandra will fill her mug over the top with serious coffee. She is a coffee person. We may have to schedule an intervention. Also, be watching. There she is. So you might start watching this space, because I've got a brand new coaching mentorship program that's kicking off called Thrive in 25, and that will be coming up soon. All right, Sandra, what is next?
All right. So, what was one of your best memories of Thanksgiving?
Well, Thanksgiving was kind of this interesting holiday. First off, it started with, and when you're young, who gets up early? I mean, I get up, crazy early now, like 4 in the morning, but didn't do that then. And would come downstairs, lived in a 2-story house, come downstairs, and the television would be on, and the Macy's Day Parade would be on, which was a big deal because my mother had worked at Macy's on 34th in New York City and Manhattan. And so, we'd start watching it. And of course, sleepy eyed and trying to wake up. Now, the thing is that my father, who was not a person who cooked a lot, but he did cook on Thanksgiving. And he had this recipe for this thing called Thompson's turkey. And he found it, I don't know where, some magazine, something, tore it out, had a photo, a very bad photocopy, because they only had bad photocopies. And he would make this insane recipe for his Thompson's turkey. And what it was entailed, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess we could look it up online. But what it would do is it would actually make the outer skin that covers the chicken breast, or the turkey breast, burned and black. But the turkey was just so good and so amazing. And it cooked all day, and all the family over, and added all the leaves to the table. And I just remember that, whether it was, when and I don't really remember when my grandfather was alive, because he died when I was 8. But my uncles would come over, my aunts, my cousins, and we would just have this amazing Thanksgiving. And what a great feast it was. I mean, it's probably something that I didn't understand at the time, but today cherish those memories. So that to me was probably one of my best Thanksgiving ever. And how about yourself, Sandra?
Yeah, so we would go to my grandmother on my mom's side the Saturday after Thanksgiving because all of my mom's siblings were kind of spread around. So that was a good time for everyone to get together. And not every, the farther ones couldn't make it usually, but we'd get together, we'd have our Thanksgiving meal, it'd be time to hang out with cousins I didn't get to see very often, aunts, uncles. Um, there's, some kind of football or something on TV, that adults would be watching, while we played. And then at the end of it, we would actually help decorate for Christmas. And so that was a ton of fun, just being able to put up the nativity scene and the lights and the star outside, and then doing everything inside with the tree and going through all these antique ornaments and putting little knickknacks up. It was a lot of fun. So my grandfather passed when I was turning like 9 or 10. So there's some memories of him during those holidays, but mostly it was just my grandma by herself. So it was nice to help her put all that together and keep the tradition going. So yeah.
Sounds like a very nice time was being had, and that, again, you need to make those memories now. Too often today, people, it's almost like they're in a hurry to get through life, and sometimes you need to just savor the moment and do all those things that you really need to do.
And why do you feel so strongly that people can't skip a holiday with their family?
Well, and this one I'm going to try to get through without getting too emotional. 29 years ago on November 18th, my mother passed away unexpectedly. She was in declining health, but you never know when that last day is going to be. And because of that, we all got together and flew to Denver. I was in California. My sister and niece we're in Tucson, I believe. Anyway, we all got together. My brother was there, and came into town, and we were there, and we ended up deciding that we were going to stay through Thanksgiving and have one last Thanksgiving in that regard. And didn't mean that we didn't have them after that, but I can tell you that that was a heartfelt one, tough one. Tears me up now to even think about it, because it was the finality of it, and understanding what that is. So if you have never had one of those events, or you don't think about those things, make sure you don't skip it. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this special on Thanksgiving, because I think too many people kind of look at it as a check mark. Well, it's a check mark. It's an obligatory thing. Make it something special. Really make it something special, and go out of your way, even if you just have a small family or small something. Go make it special. Go do something. And it was a very special day. That was my very special day, and nobody knows the future, so don't ever count that. It's always going to be there, and hopefully that will chide you or motivate you or inspire you to go out there and make this Thanksgiving the best Thanksgiving you've ever had.
And what are you going to do for Thanksgiving?
Well, we're having a very good friend that's going to come over, and she's offered to do some cooking, and we'll do some cooking, and we'll kind of have a combined, because we don't have a lot of family here, and do that and spend the day figuring out how to cook it all, and then how all to eat it all, and then all of that, and how to get all of that done in the right time and get it all figured out. So that's what we're going to do. It'll be a little bit quiet, but I think it'll be a very warm and wonderful event. How about yourself?
Yeah, so on Thanksgiving itself, I'm gonna go to my sister's and hang out with family down there. And then on Saturday, I'm going up to the farm, my parents, and then I can have a nice meal with my brother and his family and my parents. And then every year, our small town does a Christmas craft show. Then it's usually like the first weekend in December, but this year it happens to fall right on that Sunday. So we're also preparing to do a craft show on Sunday. So it'll be a busy weekend, but it'll be fun. And I've been doing this with my mom and oh gosh, since I was a kid probably. And we would go to craft shows with her mom and my cousin and my aunt. And so it's just kind of a tradition like you spoke of. It's like, why not? Like, it's the only craft show I do. It's just fun, it's tradition, and we'll just lump it into Thanksgiving this year. So, so
Yep.
that's what I'll be up to.
Well, and when you say you go to a craft show, she's not just walking around and buying crafts. So you actually going to have a booth there, right?
Yes, so I make jewelry. So mostly earrings, but necklaces, that sort of thing. So handmade jewelry, and my mom makes cookies, and then the church I grew up in does a bake sale, so I also help their table. So a little bit of everything. So
And for those of you out there in YouTube land, her mother has this secret recipe. We don't know what juju magic she puts into these cookies. I've had them, they're amazing. She won't give out the recipe. I think it's going to be one of those, cryptic ones, that we will have to send it to like some lab or the hadron collider and break it apart to see what makes it up. But you told me that at one point in time she sold how many dozen cookies?
over 400 dozen. So a
No,
lot.
and no commercial oven. It's just mom cooking at home.
At the farm, yep.
There you go. Well, hopefully what this has done is, like I said, inspired you and helped you, and hopefully you have a great Thanksgiving from Sandra and myself here at the Raging Verbalist. We hope that you have an amazing Thanksgiving. And if you're outside of the United States and you don't quite understand this holiday and say, well, it just kind of looks like an excuse to get there and eat, that's part of it. But part of it is it's time to take some moments and fill them up with some memories that you'll have for the rest of your life. So we wish you a great and happy Thanksgiving, no matter where you are. Go on and have a wonderful one. Give us some comments about it. And with that, I just want to thank everybody who's joined us here in the Raging Verbalist, and we'll see you on the next Raging Verbalist.